Guys, it's about that time. It's time to Tony. Today we have an absolute icon and a legend on the podcast and a very humble man. He's probably rolling his eyes listening to this introduction. It is Mr. Mark Erlewine. He is the owner of Elwine Guitars. He is a world-renowned luthier, which if you're not familiar with the term luthier, it's a person who makes or repairs stringed instruments. He specializes in guitars. He is the man that is trusted to work on Willie Nelson's Trigger. I believe since 75 or 76, maybe 74, he's been working on Trigger. We talk a little bit about that in this episode. If you don't know who Trigger is, it's Willie Nelson's famous guitar, the amplified acoustic nylon Martin that Willie's been playing on for, God, I don't even, the early 60s, late 60s. And it's a clear resemblance of Willie Nelson. It's withered away, but it's got holes in it, and it has all these engravings from very famous musicians like Ray Charles and Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash, Ray Benson, and Leon Russell. They all so many musicians have engraved their names on this acoustic guitar, and it's a old withered away guitar that just keeps going. It's just like Willie, it just keeps going. You don't even know how it keeps going. It gives Willie that quintessential Willie sound. And Mark is the man that has been trusted to work on this guitar. He's also invented a guitar with ZZ Top Billy Gibbons, the Chiquita travel guitar, because Billy Gibbons was tired of always having to buy an extra seat for his guitar when he traveled because he didn't trust individuals to handle his guitar with such care like he does. So Mark made this little baby guitar, it's a travel guitar, and you may recognize this guitar from Back to the Future. It's the guitar that Marty McFly is blown away by when he plugs this guitar into the big amplifier, and he strings it and it flies him back. It's in the opening scene of Back to the Future. That's Mark's guitar. He made that guitar with Billy Gibbons, which I was mind blown by that. We filmed this episode inside of his wonderful shop in Austin, Texas. It's a beautiful shop. It's a vessel of music history. If you're a fan of country, rhythm, blues, rock, you'd be absolutely mind blown. There's photos of all these musicians that he's worked on, all the guitars that he's worked on. And let me give you some, these are some people that he's made guitars for. Okay. He's made guitars for Eric Clapton, Johnny Winter, Peter Frampton, Frank Zappa, Jerry Garcia, Joe Walsh. The list goes on. I mean, everybody. He's made guitars for everybody. That's him making guitars. Now, people that he's worked guitars, I mean, and this is just a small list. If you look at his bio, his catalog is extremely deep. He's worked on, I'm not kidding when I say everybody's guitars. I mean, we could just end it right there at Willie Nelson's Trigger. Boom, you could just end it right there. He's the guy that works on Willie Nelson's Trigger. But, I mean, Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughn, Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash. I mean, what more do you Don Felders? I mean, Billy. He's also a musician. He's played on ZZ Top records. He talked a little bit about that in this interview. I mean, this guy he's an Austin icon. He's the cousin of Dan Erlewine, which I'm not familiar with Dan Erlewine, but he told me that Dan is the most world-renowned luthier that exists. I thought it would have been Mark, because I was just put on by Mark because I was known. I learned about him because he's the man that works on Trigger. And then push comes to shove, he's also invented this incredible little travel guitar that is in Back to the Future. I mean, it's just, I was completely mind blown. It was so beautiful to interview this man, and he's a real piece of Austin history. I don't know what else I can say about him besides he's incredible. I mean, I was just mind blown being in his shop. He was rather accessible to get a hold of. I'm not gonna lie. I just sent him an email and I was like, "There's no way he's gonna get back to me," and he did. He got back to me really great, and I wish the interview maybe would have been a little bit longer. I'm not the best interviewer in this one. I tried my best. I should have went up on done more research on him, because after researching him a bit, I had come to learn that I don't know if he, but the double neck Eagles double neck guitar, the Hotel California, that iconic. I don't know if he built that guitar, but he built a double neck for Don Felder, which I was like blown away. I was like, no way, did he build the iconic? So if you're not familiar with Erlewine Guitars, look up Erlewine Guitars, go to their website. Heck, buy a Chiquita travel guitar. He also invented this guitar called the laser headless guitar. I mean, they're just he's a true journeyman as a luthier. You could tell in his shop. It was amazing, and he also has this very sweet and calming voice. So we did it, folks. This is Time to Tony. We got to talk to the man who's been working on Trigger since the mid-'70s. And if you don't know who Trigger, I keep saying Trigger. We're going to talk a little bit about Trigger. You need to know who Trigger. It's the world's most famous instrument. It's Willie Nelson's acoustic guitar. Guys, enjoy the episode. Thank you very much, Mr. Mark Erlewine. And check out Erlewine Guitars. And if you're not familiar with the Chiquita travel guitar, the laser headless guitar, or even Mr. Mark Erlewine, give their website a look. It's a beautiful company and a beautiful opportunity to speak with a beautiful man. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the episode.
I grew up, my mother was a musician, a singer, and I was the one son who had a musical ear. So I was sort of pushed in direction, piano, clarinet. Eventually decided I wanted to play a guitar.
Yeah.
Which I took up. My parents were kind of like, he's not sticking with any of these. So if you want to play guitar, rent one, and see how that goes.
Okay.
Anyways, I rented one. This was in Maryland, outside of D.C. And I couldn't believe how difficult it was to play. It was just a cheap old Harmony,
It is hard.
F-hole jazz guitar.
Yeah.
$1 a month or something to rent. And I looked at it and kept thinking, it can't all be me that's making this so difficult. And I was able to actually lower the action on it. So I think the spark for guitar repair also came up during that.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't play that one long before I got a nice, Martin and got into playing. Yeah.
So you picked up a Martin at a young age?
I did. I guess I was 17 when I bought my first Martin, a new Martin from Chuck Levin's music store in Wheaton, Maryland.
Is Martin like that? That's the go-to guitar for acoustic?
Well, it's the classic steel string American guitar.
Okay.
From 1836.
And it's a steel string, which...
Yes, it is. Now, they have since made some nylon strings like Willie's.
Yeah, the Trigger, of course.
But that started in 67 or 68, I think.
What do you prefer, a steel or a nylon?
They're both beautiful.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And what is your go-to guitar if you were to have to only play one guitar? Would it be the ones you design, or what would it be?
Pedal steel is really my love.
I love the sound of the pedal steel.
Yeah.
It's a very it kind of makes my soul wander a little bit.
It's just a soulful instrument.
It's a very soulful one.
Like I said, I picked up guitar and, I was a lead guitar player, but I soon realized there were so many guitar players that were better than me.
Right.
But I had always loved steel guitar, and I had a lap steel that I had played with some people on.
So you fronted a band before?
No.
Okay.
No. But I was in bands.
Okay.
But I decided, if I want to be in demand and on stage playing, I better find a niche.
Yeah.
And that's when I bought a pedal steel and started learning it. Because there just were so few people.
Yeah.
And
also, if you ever need to take a phone call or anything, please.
Let me check.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
anyway, so I realized that, if I could learn pedal steel, I'd be playing. And I persistent.
Yeah, persistent guy, huh? Somebody needs their guitar worked on.
No,
it could be Willie Nelson, huh?
Visiting from New York. That
oh my goodness.
Needed an emergency repair on a lap steel. So
oh, okay, perfect.
We'll see.
Cool. All right. Yeah, so you started playing the steel very young. What age did you start playing the steel?
I was 22 when I got my first pedal steel. Lap steel, I was 18, 17, 18. But pedal steel, I got it and I built it. It was a Formica body, which I just could not tolerate it. I'm a wood guy.
Okay,
so.
yeah.
Anyways, I built this elaborate, it was a twin neck E9 C6.
Yeah.
So I built a bird's eye flame maple body with these rosewood inlaid with ivory frets. And the C6 had all these Hawaiian scenes, hula girls. And,
oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And then the E9th was all Nashville, broken hearts and trucks and truck drivers and all that. And that's what I played to learn on. And I sat in my room. I was rooming with some friends, fellow musicians there in Ann Arbor at the time.
Yes.
One who was a pedal steel player. And,
which Ann Arbor is where you're born and raised?
Well, no, that's where I apprenticed in Ann Arbor.
With
my dad was in the government, so I moved.
Okay, yeah.
All the time. But my cousins were based in Ann Arbor.
And your cousin was the one that introduced you into being a
luthier.
A luthier.
Yes. I always admired my cousins because they went their own path,
Right.
They had a blues band and opened for Cream and Knew the Dead and everything. They were
wow.
just,
Yeah.
But the guitar player, Dan Erlewine, had opened a shop, and he's who I apprenticed to.
And that's your cousin?
First cousin.
Your first cousin?
Dan Erlewine.
Yeah. Okay, is he still with us?
Yes.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah. Where's Dan Erlewine nowadays?
He lives in Athens, Ohio, and he's probably the world's most famous repairman. He's got multiple
More
books.
Famous than you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Because in my ignorance, I thought you were the most notable repairman. I mean, obviously being the guy who works on Trigger.
Well, if you look at Dan Erlewine, he is all over YouTube. He has books and courses.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. He's well known. He's an amazing guy.
Okay, Dan Erlewine, shouts out. Yeah. So Ann Arbor, Michigan. And is it true asleep at the wheel was the reason why you discovered?
Well, I was apprenticing to Dan. And during that time, we built a guitar for Jerry Garcia, one for Albert King. And during that time, this band came through in this old van on their way from West Virginia out to the coast. And they needed a place to crash. And they had heard of Dan just through other musicians.
This is just a no-name band?
Well, they had called themselves Asleep at the Wheel.
Oh, but okay. This is Asleep at the Wheel.
Yeah, it was Asleep at the Wheel.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Right. But nobody knew them.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
But they came and actually one of them bought a guitar that I had repaired and put up for sale. But they were talking about this Mecca, Austin, Texas, the Armadillo World Headquarters.
Soap Creek Saloon.
What a cool scene it was.
Yeah.
And that planted the scene in my head, for the future.
Yeah.
anyways.
Was it Ray Benson that you saw this big old tall?
Yeah. Ray Benson, Lucky Oceans, Leroy.
That's incredible,
I
man.
think Chris was with them. But anyway, so that was an interesting thing. I only later,
Yeah.
when I moved to Austin, did I realize and remember and talk to those guys, and we remembered meeting back then. So,
Well, it's funny how everything kind of works out. Like saying I'm a stand-up, and it's weird how the meetings that you meet up with people in the past, that it opens up the doors. And Asleep at the Wheel is the only band that really is, besides Willie's family band, is the band that he will allow to play in with them. So it's interesting that that's the first,
right,
or kind of the guy who dropped the seed in your mind to come to Austin was Asleep at the Wheel.
right,
And years
right.
later, you would pick up on Trigger. So in like 68, you got here?
69.
69,
No,
you got.
no.
Sorry, 74.
That was in Ann Arbor. I was
Okay.
69.
You
I
start
didn't move here till 74.
It's 1974.
Right. So I apprenticed to Dan 69 to 70. Then we became partners for a couple years and had a shop in downtown Ann Arbor.
Hmm.
Then I bought him out because he went back to work for the guy he had apprenticed to.
Okay.
And eventually, a guy in my band had graduated from the University of Michigan, taken a job in Austin,
Yeah.
and said, "You got to come see this place.
Man.
You won't believe what's happening."
And that was in 74.
That was in 73.
Okay.
So I came to visit him in, I guess that was late 73, and moved here in 74. Rented a truck and put my whole shop in. And
Yeah.
brought it down.
And what was it like in 73?
In 74. Well,
74.
in 73, it was great.
Yeah.
The first thing we did, he lived on a house on 34th Street where the Christmas lights are.
Yeah.
That little block there. He took me to a thing called Aquafest
Okay.
that was at not Auditorium Shores. It was across the lake. I forget the name of it now, but walked in, there's music, lots of people, cross this little bridge, and right there was Frida and the Fire Dogs on stage.
No way.
Playing,
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, this is where I was meant to be.
Yeah.
With my music.
Of course. Yeah.
Because we were, the band I was in Ann Arbor, we were doing Western swing and
Okay.
country music.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So,
Western swing, that's a lot like Asleep in the Wheel.
right.
Okay. 73, man. So did you, I'm bouncing all over the place, but at 73, I mean, the amount of musicians that you,
Well,
were you
74 was
70?
when I actually
I keep saying
moved
73.
here. Yeah.
74. Were you did you go out on the scene, and would you watch, like, would you go to Soap Creek Saloon? Would you go to Armadillo World Headquarters?
Oh, sure. I was trying to establish my shop. I rented a place down on Guadalupe,
Mm-hmm.
$135 a month, this big old space,
That's awesome.
and I didn't have a house or anything.
Was that
so I
was
just
that
slept.
expensive at the time? 135 a month?
For me, it was,
Yeah.
but reasonable.
Yeah.
Anyways, I started working there, set up my shop, printed out posters, went up and down the drag, put them on the telephone poles, guitar repair,
Mm-hmm.
steel lessons,
Yeah. Anything to make money.
Yeah, right. Went around to all the clubs,
Yeah.
Broken Spoke, Split
Oh, I
Rail,
love the Broken
all
Spoke.
those, same thing. And eventually started building up a clientele to earn some money.
Yeah.
Um,
And who was like the first person that trusted you to work on their guitar? Like, from that, who was like a big name that you're like, whoa,
well,
I can't believe
one
I'm.
of the first breaks I had
Yeah.
was there was a B.W. Stevenson
Okay.
had a big hit, My Maria. It was a big nationwide hit.
Okay.
He was here in Austin, and his manager was a guy named Pootie Locke.
Oh my goodness.
And
Pootie Locke.
he would bring his guitar. He was a very abusive to his guitar's
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
And he had real alcohol problems.
Right.
But Pootie would bring them in and I would fix them for him. Shortly thereafter, BW burned out, and Willie Nelson hired
Yeah.
Pootie.
Pootie. Yeah.
So as soon as he came to Willie and he saw that Willie's guitar needed some work, he brought it to me.
Yeah.
So that was a stroke of fortune right there.
That we're talking about Trigger.
Right.
That
well,
was
it wasn't called Trigger
okay.
yet.
It wasn't called Trigger yet.
No.
When did he get the name Trigger?
A few years later, he decided to name it. You
Yeah.
know. When it first came in, it had just the start of a little hole wearing into the top.
I know that must be so. I feel like that's most people's introduction into you that isn't don't know much about the music scene in Austin. They would know you from being. Are you the only man that ever works on Trigger?
Oh no.
Okay.
Other people have worked on it.
But I'm saying in the last, I don't know.
Well, I've worked on Trigger since, I guess that was 76.
You're the only man that's worked on Trigger since 76.
No,
Okay.
these guys, were touring incredibly.
Yeah, so
So if something happened that they needed some work done while they were on the road, they would have a competent guy work on it,
When's the last time Trigger's been in this shop?
It's been a few months.
Oh, it's been I thought you were about to say a few years. A few months is awesome.
No. It's been a few months. He's not playing a lot.
Yeah.
Nearly as much anymore.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's 92 years old.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's incredible. He's still chugging along.
It is.
What is it? What do you think it is? Is it? I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's some magic going on. There's something. Does Trigger feel magical?
You do something you love, it keeps you going.
Yeah. Okay.
And Willie, my God, that's the personification of doing something you love.
Yeah.
Writing and touring and singing and, playing his guitar.
What's something about Willie that most people wouldn't expect? I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing that, but like if do you know him personally like that enough?
I met him a number of times.
Yeah.
I have not, really spent long periods with him.
Right.
He's a very humble guy, extremely funny.
He's funny.
He's got a sense of humor that is just, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. He's heard it all.
That's hilarious.
And he remembers it all.
Wow. Okay. There's a great line because I'm a stand-up on. Right. Then there's a big, stand-up community out here, and I always show this one clip of Willie Nelson on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, where he goes, you have all these groupies that come up to you and they always want to try to get these autographs, and how do you handle that? And without missing a beat, the way he just delivered it he goes, well, I try to give it to him. And, there's a certain innuendo there that he's, not implying that he's giving more to them than just a signature. But it was just like, wow, he's got chops on him. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He is sharp. Yeah. He can really sing you.
Yeah. And so you probably know, Trigger better than Willie.
I probably spent much more time with Trigger than Willie.
Yeah.
But anyways, part of that story was when I first worked on Trigger. Shortly thereafter, Willie was one of the owners of the Austin Opry House.
Right.
And so that was sort of a residency for him.
Yeah.
And Pootie said, oh, Willie wants to meet you. I want you to come down tonight, before the show and talk to him. So I got there and, he took me backstage. There were all these bars and there was a lot of backstage back in those days.
Yeah.
And Willie was sitting at the bar having a drink and he stopped and talked, I introduced Pootie introduced me to him and Willie said, yeah, just I want you to take care of this guitar. As long as it keeps going, I'll keep going. And I thought, that's a line. No pressure.
Yeah.
Had I known.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's kind of incredible that thing is, it's a direct resemblance of him as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that thing is, would you say it's the most famous instrument of all time?
I would say so.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, and you've worked on it so many times. Is there like a certain feeling you get when you touch it? And I mean, there's all these names engraved on it.
Yeah.
There's
Well, there's a respect, an awe, a love
yeah.
of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's interesting for me to kind of see the history of repairs
Yeah.
and what's been happening lately. Oftentimes I would use like Q-tips and naphtha to
Right.
clean out dead skin and stuff, and then seal up the wood just to give it some more time before we pick through it
Yeah.
again. Um, but there's just an aura
There
about
is.
it.
What
Yeah.
and the names that are carved on it? What are some notable names on there on the guitar that you can
Well,
see?
Roger Miller, Johnny Cash. There's a lot of, Chris Christopherson, a lot of very famous people. And over the
Ray
years,
Benson I can see really well on
yeah,
that
Ray
one.
Benson's on there. Who was it?
Leon Russell.
Leon Russell. Jack White did it recently.
Ray Charles is he
Ray
on? Oh my
Charles.
goodness.
But there were a lot more signatures on it when I first started working on it
Yeah.
that have faded
Yeah.
and are gone.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's nothing you can do to
no, but I have been taking pictures of it over
Yeah.
the years.
Yeah.
So that's been nice to be able to kind of look at it, and say, oh, look, that one is gone now.
Wow. That's incredible.
And of course,
Pootie Lock.
right?
Yeah.
Then when Pootie passed and John Selman took over, John's is there. Recently, John's daughter
Wow.
has been, on the road with them.
Okay.
Signed it.
Incredible.
So there's a lot of family to it. Tunin' Tom is on there.
Okay.
He's no longer working on it. He's
Tune in Tom.
Tom Hawkins, but they called him Tunin' Tom. He was the one who took care of Trigger on the Road and tuned it.
Okay.
Before he handed it to Willie.
God, that's incredible, man. That's a bless. It's a yeah. Like I said out there, I don't. Everybody's asked you about Trigger, but I mean, how could you not? I mean, Willie's like my guy. And I feel like I probably will never meet him, but I feel like he's such a close friend to me.
Yeah, he's yeah.
It's
He's a
such
force
soulful
of
music,
nature.
force
Yeah.
of nature, man. And you have designed and made your own guitars over the years.
Yes.
And you were just showing me out there the Chiquita
Yes.
travel guitar.
Billy Gibbons and I designed the Chiquita travel guitar.
Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What
do you mean you and him designed it together? You like?
Well, he would always take his guitar, Pearly Gates. He would have to buy it a seat when he traveled by plane if he didn't want to check it, which he never did want to check it. It's a 58 Les Paul that he did,
he didn't trust
Hombres.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What Trace Hombres?
Well, that was probably their first big hit album.
Okay. He just didn't trust people with it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he didn't want anything to happen to it.
Okay. And he goes on the road with that little thing? The Chiquitas?
Not really. He has
well, now he's
of guitars.
Okay.
Thousands, literally.
Yeah, I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, when I first met him, I started building him guitars that, he used in different albums. I got to play on one of their albums.
You played on one?
Yeah, I got a gold record for playing on
What?
El Loco. It's out there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that was scary for me. He flew me to Memphis to record it on pedal steel.
No way.
And they said, play, all right, go ahead, Mark. And I was so nervous that, you use a volume pedal.
Yeah, your foot's shaking?
Right, that's just part of the steel to keep the volume going right. And it was so shaken that it sounded like that. When I laid down the track, it was like that.
Do you think it added additive sound to it?
I don't know. They said, that was great, Mark. Thanks. And I went, no.
No, it's not. No.
No, that was terrible.
Yeah.
And anyways, we did a couple more takes and I didn't shake.
Okay.
So,
wow, dude.
yeah.
That's awesome. So you and Billy Gibson invented
Gibbons. Gibbons.
Billy Gibson. Sorry, yeah. The little Chiquita, which
Yeah, we were trying to make something. The idea was to make something that met FAA regulations, so you could legally take it on board, pull it down, put your headphones on, and practice your guitar.
it's crazy because when you look at it online, you don't realize it's like it's way smaller than you think.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And the other one, the Laser.
The Laser is a headless guitar that Johnny Winter really liked.
Okay.
Johnny, I had met at the Austin Opry House.
Yeah.
And he bought one of my Chiquitas from me early on.
Okay.
But when I designed the Laser, I took it down to him when he was playing there again. He loved it. He was a pretty frail guy, and he was used to playing these big Firebirds, and it would really hurt his back. So when he got one of my Lasers, it was like, whoa, I can jump around again on stage.
Okay.
You know?
And those are very kind of, I think you
It's
said
headless.
It's headless, and they're also kind of not rare, but there's not many. They're not like in production.
No, they're not in production.
Yeah.
I've stopped making them. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow. So they're very sought after?
They are sought after, and I've had different models of them. Some were quite expensive, you know. I initially had them produced for me in Korea. Anyways, the same thing with the Chiquita. I started production in Japan.
Okay.
Moved to Korea. Tried to have them made in Mexico.
Yeah.
And now they have them made in China.
Fantastic. Well, I guess everything you know, you know. And how did was it just by when you flicked on Back to the Future, were you just like, oh my God, that's my Chiquita, or did you know?
No, I was, one of my customers came in. I had built a guitar for Mark Knopfler, and he was playing, doing a big concert for his, probably his biggest album. And he was playing that night, and I had been invited to come down and see him because he was going to use my guitar on stage. When the customer came in and said, this movie opened last night called Back to the Future, and I think it's your little guitar at the beginning. I'm not sure. It goes pretty quick, but
Wow.
That's how I learned about it.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had no idea because when I walked in there, I was like, no way. Back to the Future. I just watched that a month ago. I'm familiar with the references, but I didn't really ever watch the film.
Well, only a mother would know their offspring.
Yeah.
But anyways, that has sold so many Chiquitas, I can't believe it.
Wow.
There are people all over the world are Back to the Future nuts.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Nerds like me.
Yeah, yeah. It's honestly a well-priced guitar, too. It's like $700, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like great price.
Yeah. Well, some people don't think so, but
I think it's great. Yeah, right. I was honestly surprised to see the price of it, $700.
Well, they were initially $300. So
wow.
They've been around a long time, 40 plus years.
Wow. Well, I just picked up an accordion used for $500, so it's like
it's all
a guitar for $700 sounds great, especially one like that.
Right. But later on, Spinal Tap came out, and they were using one in that.
Yeah,
it's almost like it was used in movies as a gimmick guitar because it's just so bizarre.
Yeah, yeah.
Where
did the name Chiquita come from?
It means pretty little thing.
Okay, a Chiquita.
In Spanish,
yeah.
Chiquita. Oh, muy chiquita.
Muy chiquita.
So
shout out Sarita.
And Billy Gibbons is big Mexico fan.
Oh, me too, man.
He said, yeah, let's call it Chiquita.
Okay.
That's where it came.
Cool, man. Got that one. Man, so I'm curious. I'm a huge Doug Somm fan. Has Doug ever come into the shop?
He has not in this shop. I was on Guadalupe for 20
Yeah.
years. My
Okay.
shop was there, and I worked on his guitar a number of times
Doug
down
Soms.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Doug like at all?
He was a manic, crazy man. He just was always, I don't know if he was high or I
Yeah.
think he was naturally
That's what they
just
say. People
manic.
thought he was always on blow, but he
Yeah.
was. I mean, he smoked a lot of weed. They said, but he was just a
Yeah. I mean, that was his personality.
Yeah.
And,
Was he a rough guitar player on his guitars?
I don't remember him. He didn't strike me as somebody who took huge care of them, but he wasn't abusive of them.
Yeah.
Certain players kind of take things out on their guitar.
Really? Like who?
Jerry Jeff was
Walker.
one who just, for whatever reason, he was abusive to guitars. Not always. In later life, he
Yeah.
toned down, but his band would take guitars away from him. He'd be drinking or something when
Yeah.
it would really come out.
How does
Anyways.
what do you mean they're abusive? How do you just bang it? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen, like Hendrix would light it on fire.
Yeah.
The Who would smash it. There's just something primitive
Yeah.
about it that the audience can understand, but it's
Right.
entertaining to them.
Okay. So you worked on Doug's. Have you worked on Stevie Ray's at all?
Yeah, a bunch of work on his. He was not abusive at all. He just played it
He did
all
play
the
that.
time.
Yeah.
And he would wear frets out quicker than anyone I know.
Man, there's all these people. Do you ever get starstruck from certain individuals? Like, and I mean, I don't know how you could.
Well,
after.
I have met John Fogerty came in one time
Okay.
and bought a Chiquita from me.
Wow.
And I had never seen him before, but I was playing his songs in the honky tonks
Yeah.
at the time, and he brought out a MasterCard or something, and it said John Fogerty, and I looked at him and I said, "Proud Mary?" He said, "Yeah." He was doing a recording at Austin City Limits when he was still here on campus.
Yeah.
Very humble, but yeah, I have been.
Yeah.
Mark Knopfler when he came in.
Okay.
Same kind of thing. Gibbons when I first met him.
Right.
Although I really wasn't that aware of ZZ Top
Right.
at the time. So
Well, it's kind of same for me. You sometimes you're dropping names I don't really too familiar on, but
yeah.
that's amazing, man. So Stieve Ray Vaughn, any Albert King? You said you've
Yes, we built one for Albert King.
have you met him?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, he was incredible player, not the most personable guy.
Really?
He was tough on his band. He was just not a
Okay.
And when I would work on this guitar that Dan and I had built for him doing repairs, Dan when I apprenticed to him for a year, Dan built a guitar for Albert King and one for Jerry Garcia.
Okay.
And I was sort of the Sander grunge guy
Okay.
working on them,
Yeah.
But when Albert King would come
Mm-hmm.
and play at Antone's, and need some work, Clifford would call me up and say, you need some work, and you come pick this up, and
Yeah.
I'd do it, and and I would charge him like $100 to refret it and make a new pickguard and all this stuff, just sort of a token fee.
Yeah.
And Albert was like, "What?"
Really?
Yeah. So Clifford would pay me,
And Clifford is the
Clifford Antone.
the old owner of Antone's.
Right.
Okay.
Named it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, that's funny. I literally was before pulling up here. I've been obsessed with that Stevie Ray Vaughan and Albert King in Session album.
Yes.
That's a big song or a big
Yeah.
album I've just been hooked on to for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked on Stevie's guitars mostly when he was still here in Austin
Mhm.
before he got off probation and finally got, pushed out into the public.
Right, right.
So
And Jimmy, his brother, he's still in Austin. You ever
Yeah.
see him? Yeah.
yeah, I have. He's got a tech that, takes care of
True,
his guitars.
True. That's amazing, man. So I got Albert King, Eric Clapton. Has Eric been here?
I have not. I've met him.
Yeah.
Uh, where did I meet him? He was with Jimmy Vaughn. I think at an AA meeting, and he introduced me. And
Is there a direct correlation to an individual's like a person who's more strung out on drugs, like what their guitar looks like, than to a person who's like so take like a well, you could have a folk artists who are on drugs, but I feel like a rocker, his guitar must look way different than what a folk artist's guitar looks like.
I could not make that generalization because there are folk artists that are just funky.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
look at Willie's guitar. I mean,
Oh, I guess
and
he is
there are a folk or country or
yeah,
whatever. It's an acoustic,
yeah.
songwriter's
Mm-hmm.
guitar. And there are heavy metal players that are just meticulous about this look,
Right.
you know,
Right.
which I don't understand, but
Yeah.
it sells. So
What is what makes a guitar like a good guitar? You know, because I walk in a guitar center and I couldn't tell you the difference, but like I see a $60 guitar, like the first introduction guitars, but then you see like these $15,000 guitars. What's the difference?
well, the $60 guitar was made with essentially slave labor, overseas,
Oh wow.
so they can offer it at that price. And
Yeah.
uh, I don't know that you should put that
No,
on,
please. I don't. This
but
is we say
it's
anything on here.
really what it is.
Really.
It's
Yeah.
try merchandisers trying to get
Yeah.
make a guitar that looks like that $15,000 guitar. Pretty much looks like it,
Yeah.
but you can buy it for $60.
Yeah.
Um,
There's just no love put into it.
well, yeah, it's not the same as a factory where the craftsmen are really proud of their work
True.
and what they're putting out
Okay.
and getting paid decently for
Yeah.
that pride
Yeah.
and work.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Man. Sorry, we're bouncing all over the place. I'm looking at my notes here again. So you got to Austin here in the 70s, 73.
74.
So, Jesus Christ.
That's okay, buddy.
I keep saying 73, man. 74. And I mean, how much have you seen this city change? I mean,
Oh, it's been dramatic. Back then, I remember when I was still living in Ann Arbor, Time magazine had a little article about the cheapest major city in the United States to live, Austin, Texas.
wow.
And I thought, wow, there's all these different calls to Austin for me, When I moved here and, rented that place for $135 a month,
Mm-hmm.
then I finally rented a house and shared with some other bandmates it was probably $185 a month.
Wow.
And then shortly thereafter, I bought a house for $8,000.
$8,000.
Yeah, and it was
Holy, is this a used or a brand new house or
oh no, it was an
older house? Okay.
cracker house, 700 square feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just the bank didn't even bother to check my references.
That's
I gave
amazing.
$2,000 down and assumed a $53 a month payment.
Imagine if you would have hold on to it now. I think I mean,
Yeah. Well, I lost it in a divorce. So,
oh, I'm
but
sorry.
that's okay. I
Yeah.
had a much nicer house that I kept. So,
Yeah. Jesus, man. So, yeah, and then the music scene must have been. Were you out in the nightlife at all in Austin?
oh yeah, back then I was
Okay.
young and could do it. I
Yeah.
could play. I was in bands
Right.
and playing. Did a little touring, but I always would get to the shop, and that was where I could make bread and butter money.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
And was 6th Street where most of the live music resided?
there was back in those early days. there was some there, but it was not. Silk Creek Saloon, Split Rail, Broken Spoke, Armadillo. There were a number of other venues that were more, where people came to play.
What's like the most notable night in your mind from like you being out and you're like, dude, there's no way these guys are on stage together?
So many.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing, who did I see? Stefan Grappelli, who was part of the Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli, the Hot Club of France.
Yeah.
He came and played at the Armadillo.
Wow.
I don't know.
There's just so many, huh?
Just so many.
Yeah, I see you looking off in the distance, going through a Rolodex of...
The Dead played at a Maynard Downs, a racetrack that was east of here.
Yeah.
That's a whole other...
Yeah, no,
I have to think about it.
No worries, man. I appreciate you thinking about it.
I went and saw... who was it? Got his picture signed out there. Old moment here. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It's...
What is it? Waltz Across Texas.
Waltz Across Texas?
Well, he wrote that.
Dude, let's go look. You can look at it real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am blanking. Anyways, I saw him.
So it was Ernest Tubb. That's the name.
Ernest Tubb, right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine, man.
Anyways, he was there at the Broken Spoke, and he had brought Hank Williams' band with him to back him up.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was a moment that will live with me
forever. Yeah.
To meet those people.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, Leon McAuliffe was on steel guitar, and he wrote Steel Guitar Rag, and he was with Bob Wills for many years.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I, introduced myself to him and told him I played steel, and he was real friendly, and he asked my name. He says, Erlewine. I haven't heard that name since I was a kid in Houston. Our truant officer's name was Erlewine. And he had this kind of angry look on his face.
But there was no relation?
Probably he was. My dad was born in Houston, so.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, did your dad get around a lot?
No, who knows? Who knows? But I thought that was funny.
Yeah, take it easy, man.
Right.
Don't get upset at me.
Not me.
Yeah. Man, so what do you think the future of your shop? What's it going to look like?
Well, my wife and I have just done a big remodel at our house and put a shop in there.
Yeah.
So at some point, I'm going to move into there.
Okay.
And sell this property.
But as far as like, when the time comes, what's going to happen? Is there anyone that's taking over the shop? And,
Nope.
It's just when you go, it goes?
When I go, it goes.
Wow. Does that make you sad at all?
Not really.
Yeah. I mean,
I've had apprentices. My son just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been wonderful for me, and I'll be able to still work on Trigger. I have a lot of very old clients that still bring me stuff.
It is beautiful that this, essentially it's your artwork, really, and artwork will forever outlive any individual.
Yeah, and it really is my therapy. It has always been my therapy.
Yeah, I mean, you seem like a very relaxed guy. Have you always been this relaxed?
I'm not always this relaxed. No.
Yeah.
But I have, early on, I realized working at the bench, doing this has been good for my soul.
Yeah.
So gotten me through a lot of bad marriages and
Yeah.
other things,
Right. Of course.
So,
Yeah. It's been very cathartic for you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
And now I've got grandkids living in Thailand, and we travel a lot. So
yeah.
I'm not putting in the hours I used to do.
Right. Okay. Well, good, man. You got to travel.
Right.
I'm going to Europe at the end of the year for the first time.
Cool.
I'm excited. Yeah. So the shop goes when you go. Erlewine Guitars.
Well, it'll still be there at my house.
Yeah, it'll still be. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah. How long has it been in this location right here?
I bought this property in '94.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? 30? No. Yeah, 30,
34.
32 years.
32 years? Okay,
Yeah.
wow. Fantastic. Well, I feel like I've taken up a lot of your time, and I feel like I could just talk to you for hours and hours on ends about the musicians you've seen and all the people you played with.
But you were asking about the changes I've seen.
Yeah.
Yes, it has been dramatic.
Yeah. And everybody they're all like, you talk to older Austin people, they're like, oh, Austin's dead. And I'm like, I've only been here for 2.5 years. I love it. Austin's incredible.
Yeah, I love Austin too, but it was a very different Austin back then.
Yeah.
It was there was much more of a community, a music community feel to it. Much more supportive of music, I feel.
Yeah.
And it felt like developers all saw it as, oh man, this is such a great place. Let's go make some money.
Seems like that's a common. I was talking to some people in Terlingua this weekend, and they're talking about how the developers are just plundering.
Sure.
It's just
you have a beautiful thing. Everyone wants a part of that.
Yeah. What did it look like? Was Bee Cave always Bee Cave? Or?
No.
Yeah.
The road out to Bee Caves was a 2-lane narrow road, which once a week you'd read about
somebody
a wreck
driving off.
Yeah. It's just tiny, and it was you going through over cliffs and forests. There was just nothing out there. Out 71, there was nothing. It was just beautiful, open. I remember early on when I started production of the Chiquita in Japan,
mm-hmm.
the rep I was working with came to visit me here in Austin and flew into San Antonio, and I picked him up. He was just freaked out. This was 70, I don't know, 8, 79.
Yeah.
He was frightened by the wide open spaces between San Antonio and Austin.
He was frightened?
Yeah. Well, Japan is so carefully, gridded out that he said, is this a national park or something? Why are there no houses?
Yeah.
Now look at it.
Oh, man, it's
just big box after big box.
I've looked at, buying properties, it's ridiculous in Austin. What's also kind of ridiculous being like, here's $1 million home, but then here's also a homeless person can poop right on your front doorstep.
Right.
And it's like, what you go out to even Lockhart is,
Yeah, it's gotten out of hand. It really has. And it's driven the art community out of it.
Yeah, a little bit. I will say the art, for the reason why me and all my friends are here is because there's a big comedy boom.
Sure.
Are you familiar with that? Have you heard about it at all?
Some, yeah.
Well, it seems very much like the big music boom that was going on in the 70s, like almost identical, where like there's this, just the camaraderie of comics coming together,
right.
and lots of things are being made that are beautiful.
Yeah, I know there's been a number of festivals that happen every year.
Well, yeah, the festivals too, but just like on a Saturday night in Austin, Texas, there's like 35 comedy shows going on. There's a lot.
That's great.
Right on 6th Street alone, there's so many going on.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe once used to look like that, huh? You could just walk around and bounce around and see shows everywhere, huh?
Sure.
Golly.
Yeah, it didn't cost you $30 at the door,
Most of it was free, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it was. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Um, well, is there a? You seem like such a peaceful guy and a very somber man. Is there a quote that you live your life by?
Hmm.
Or if there's a motto or anything that Mr. Mark Erlewine, uh, you know, takes with him at heart and applies that to his life.
I don't think I have one.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that's it right there.
I'm sure I'll think of one,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, dude, I really appreciate you sitting down with me, and this was honestly a dream come true for me. And thank you for taking time out of your very
Well,
busy
you're
day.
welcome. That was fun.
Thank you,
Thanks.
buddy. Mark, you're the man, dude.